I'm excited to have Mel back. We were able to bring Mel in, as you recall, in June.
Yeah, was that in? Yeah.
Yeah, live from the Connect conference.
Yeah.
I took him away from the cocktail party.
Why would you do that?
I did, and I brought
There
him
he
up.
is. That's a familiar face. Yes.
Yeah, to exit
face.
some of the fun parts of the conference and come on over and talk to you. And again, he's jumping in today.
Yes.
So Mel, great to see you. Thank you for being
Hey,
here.
Mel.
Good to see you as well, Tim. Good to see both of you. Hope you had a happy day.
Oh yeah, thank you. Yes.
You too. Hey, I'm gonna give you guys the room so everybody can see Mel's happy face. They've had enough of me today. Thanks for being here.
No problem. Pleasure.
So welcome, Mel. Thanks for being a part of the Radiothon today. Here is your kind of I see this as the last leg, and you're leading off in the last leg here. A little over 2 more hours to go, and or under 2 hours. I've totally lost track. It doesn't matter. I'm here a while yet, and I'm glad you're here with me to share a little bit of news maybe from Fulcrum. I know last time you and I chatted was in June. Those that don't know, this is the CEO of Fulcrum, right, Mel? I mean, I'm getting your.
Actually, I would love to have that promotion, but not now.
Oh?
I'm the COO.
COO, man,
yeah.
Someone's got to change my copy. Where's Lee?
No, I think
COO of Fulcrum. Excuse me. You're right. See, last time I think the only thing I got in June, right before you sat down, was a slip of the business card right in front of me, and be like, yes. that was my notice. If this is your next person you're going to talk to, it's like, okay, here we go. But Fulcrum is front page news for us. Phase 3, right? This is the road we're walking in, and I would love to say, hey, let's talk about this or talk about, everyone wants to hear about that. And I mean, I'm pretty sure they'll want to hear what's the news with phase 3 and from Fulcrum's perspective, and how excited are you guys about that?
Oh, well, first of all, again, Tim, thank you very much for having us. Well, we're excited. The REACH program, I think the last time we met, we were in pursuit of first patient in. The goal was to get that first patient in and second quarter, and we were able to do so. I think it was on June 30th. We actually achieved that.
Nice.
It was a celebration for the community. Mark Stone and Ken Katava and many others were super excited because that was really the start of the program. And since then, we've continued to work at enrolling patients globally. We have roughly 35 sites throughout the U.S., Canada, and Europe, many of which are in the United States. They are all listed on clinicaltrial.gov. But we're looking to enroll 230 patients. So right now, we're working very, very intensely with the sites and ensuring that we do whatever we can to make that patient experience as positive as possible. It's just been a lot of fun. I mean, the enthusiasm from the society, from the patients, from the sites, it's just been palpable. For us as the first company to go into a phase 3 in FSHD, it's just been a true honor. So we're excited. We continue to push forward.
Yeah, it's forward indeed. So as you walk into 2023, is that the focus right now to hit that 230 patients? Right, that is step one.
Exactly.
So as a community, what can we do to help? Is that signing up, getting on the trial.gov site and kind of get that ball rolling?
Absolutely. Go to cd.gov and check where the sites are located and see if they're ones in close proximity to you. And I would say, start to reach out. There's information on the actual site where you should reach out to. WCG is one of our vendors helping us to facilitate all of the patient referrals. We also have created a new role, a patient liaison. Sandra Flaring, who I think many of you know already, have really been tremendous. She's our patient liaison, so she's also a resource for patients when they look to enroll in the trial. But I would say look up where the sites are and get engaged. The sites are excited. They are enrolling patients, and we're looking forward to continue that process through 2023.
Now, the current sites that you have now, will there be more added as you keep rolling out, like different locations? So if someone, for instance, is looking for a site near their area, and I'm going to kind of use my own personal experience, because I went through the Fulcrum site or the government site as we're talking about, got in connection with the right people, and then we're kind of in a pause mode for myself getting involved because they're talking about putting one in Minnesota, in Rochester, Minnesota, I believe. So I guess I want people to know that I think things are still possibly still working when it comes to sites. I don't know how accurate the way I'm describing it is, but that's what I was told.
We continue to evaluate as demand increases. We look to see where the opportunities are. The big thing is getting sites activated. It takes a while.
Yes, yes.
So we're continuing to evaluate that on an ongoing basis. And if more sites are needed for us to reach our 230 patients, then we'll definitely do that. Nothing right now is limited. We're trying to get as many patients enrolled with the current sites, but if there's an opportunity and a need, then we're going to pursue that avenue going forward.
Is there a certain expiration to get that 230? I mean, do we have a certain time frame we have to get it, or something shifts, or we just got to hit that 230 as quick as possible, period?
I would say our goal is to have this trial fully enrolled, last patient in 2023. That's our goal. So we're pushing forward towards that. We haven't set any definitive timelines as of yet. Our goal is just to ensure that in 2023, we get that trial enrolled.
Nice. That is exciting news. Beyond that, what has been other things that maybe Fulcrum is working on? I know this is huge, but is there any other type of projects or things in the works if it comes to FSHD or whatnot that the company is involved with that you can share?
Yeah, I can't share all of it. We got a lot of exciting things going on. We're doing some things with the society we're planning as well. But for us, reach is, I would say, 99% of our focus. We have to get this program enrolled and patients into these different sites. That's been the majority of our engagement. But I will say we're looking to launch a disease awareness campaign soon, and many patients have been involved in this process with us. So that's really exciting because it's given us a chance to really get the patient voice into this creative process and make sure the wording, the imagery, all that stuff makes sense, making sure we're answering those questions that we continue to get. And part of my role as a COO is to ensure that every experience that the community has with us is positive. So when you asked earlier about what can the community do, say continue to engage. I mean, we need to hear from the community. What do you need? What will make your life better? We want to take a holistic approach to ensuring that patients experience Fulcrum well, but I think more importantly, what can we do to ensure that your experience as an FSHD patient is pleasurable, is exciting and engaged when you're talking to us. I mean, that's my role, is to make sure that the wheels on the bus continue as Fulcrum, but more importantly, every touch point that we have out there with the community is positive. And so therefore, continue to engage, bring in suggestions, ask the hard questions of us as well. We want those questions. We don't want you to be quiet. Ask those questions of us. I love meeting with Mark and Ken quite frequently, just to say, hey guys, give us the pulse. What's happening out there in the community? What can we do? As we're going to Europe, what are some of the things we should be thinking about? What are the patients saying to you? The rules of engagement in Europe are different than in the US in terms of patient outreach, but we know there are ways to reach patients in Europe. So let's figure it out now. So when we get there and start to recruit pretty heavily in Europe, these patients are ready to go. So
yeah, that's exciting too, right? Because you're expanding beyond just the US. This is also something that's going on in Europe. So what are some of the biggest differences or hurdles, I should say, that you have to deal with between US to UK or Europe?
The biggest challenge we have is that in the US, we can do direct-to-consumer engagement. We can actually go to the society. We can speak to patients at conferences, and we can talk about our program, our company, our products, things of that nature. But in Europe, you can't. You have to go through, in most cases, a society, and the society has to be the one to actually facilitate the engagement of education. So for us, it's just basically ensuring that we have those channels to patients. The physicians have a lot of, I would say, gating mechanisms in place by which they can help facilitate information to patients. So going through the different sites themselves, who can then pass on information, is also helpful, but we cannot go directly to patients in Europe. And that's the biggest challenge. But to be honest, patients are so they're so creative. They go to the U.S. website, they read the U.S. website, and they look up stuff. And but we can't actively promote to patients.
Yeah. It sounds like that's an extra hurdle. Is that feel a little frustrating from your aspect?
No, you know what? I've been in the industry now for 30 years, and the last, I would say, 15 or so, I've been in rare diseases, and it's not. It's just a different way of operating. Okay. Patients all over the globe are just, they just want to have access to therapy. So right now our focus is to make sure that we engage them, we educate them on things, they educate us on things that we need to know, and then we partner in any way possible based off the rules and regulations on both sides of the pond. So it's just different, not frustrating, just different.
Well, you're talking about a connection and the conference that we met in June. Talk a little bit about that experience from your perspective, of course. And I don't know if that was the first time you've been involved with something like that or not, but speak from kind of your perspective and your take of that Connect conference.
Yeah, it was so funny. That was my first time actually engaging with the community, face to face. I joined a company in September last year. That was one of the first major conferences that was truly engaging with the community. It was awesome. I mean, I joined Fulcrum for a couple of reasons. One of the main reasons why is when I first met with the CEO and the rest of the executive team, I got this sense that FSHD was in our DNA. I mean, when you think about our founding in 2015, it started with the community and engaging with the community. So having a chance to meet them face to face and interact and have casual conversations about vacations and just their excitement about the trial, the REACH trial was just tremendous. So for me, it was great. And I want us to continue to show up in that very authentic manner with the community and to hear what the community has to say. But it was great. It was a phenomenal experience for me. And I'm looking forward to next year already.
Nice. Yeah, it was my first time being a part of something like that. I mean, it's always impactful, especially when I meet others that have the same rare disease that I have. But from the aspect of seeing the professional world collide with that world, it wasn't just about the patients. It was also people such as yourself that are front lines and helping us try to find a cure, treatment. Do you feel like you were getting bombarded by tough questions though with the patients? Everybody try to grab you. Okay, tell me when this is coming.
I guess the tough question I got was, how can I get myself enrolled? I can't guarantee that. I would love to be able to. I would say,
right.
We're going to start recruiting. We're going to start the process now in June. But no hard questions. I mean, they were very fair questions. I've been in rare disease for a long time, and hemophilia is a space I spend a lot of time in, and I love this part of the job. This is the best part. Matter of fact, if I don't get hard questions, I'm disappointed because those hard questions makes myself and my team go back to the office. We noodle on those questions and we figure out solutions. And that's what makes us better as a company and more valuable to community. If we can't connect with the community on their needs, then what value do we have beyond the product? And companies that do well, and I've learned in rare diseases, companies who have an authentic relationship that's reciprocal with the community where we learn, they learn, and we grow together. And a company our size, we're about 106 people. We're a small company. This is really how we're going to grow ourselves and to establish ourselves as credible players within the biotech space. So, the community plays a huge, huge role in that. So I'm just really excited about continuing to have that relationship built over time.
How do you want our community to connect with you? You're talking about, how we are allowed in the U.S. to kind of give you more of that direct contact connection. What's the best path for the community to do that?
There's several paths. You can obviously come through our advocacy team. Jim McNary, who many of you know, has been a part of our advocacy team for a while and will continue to in different capacities going forward. You can email myself as well, and I can facilitate that to our advocacy group, which reports into me at this point in time. The society itself is also a tremendous resource. I mean, that team it's a small, mighty group, but they're just so passionate, and they give us a lot of information. They come up and say, "This is what we're here, Mel," and then I take that as well. For those interested in the trial, obviously, reaching out to WCG and of course our patient liaison, Sandra, is another way for us to hear about what the community is looking for. But look up Fulcrum. On our website, there's an address on the website. Send in your questions and your comments, and from there as well. So there's multiple challenges. Just through humans, through digital. There's multiple. And as soon as I mentioned, we'll be launching a disease education campaign. There'll be information there where you can link onto and reach out to us as well. So we're trying to create as many opportunities to engage as possible.
Love it. Thank you very much, Mel, for spending some time with us. I guess it's this evening and late afternoon, and being here part of this Radiothon event. Appreciate your time as always and everything Fulcrum is doing for us. Thank you much.
Thank you very much as well.
Bye-bye.